Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to really get into some fascinating ideas and hopefully get you well-informed quickly. Today, we're tackling something huge, time itself. We're looking at it through the lens of, well, ancient languages and the book of Genesis. Yeah, our mission really is to see how these older ideas stack up against our modern view, the clock ticking constantly, and what that actually means for us, for how we live. So here's a thought to kick us off. Okay, let's unpack this. What if a day in Genesis 1 wasn't strictly 24 hours, especially before the sun and moon were even around?
That's exactly the question to ask. It throws open the door to how ancient peoples experience time. If we look at the Hebrew word yom, which is day in Genesis 1, well, it's much broader than just our 24-hour cycle. Yom could mean the daylight hours, sure, but it could also mean a whole era, or maybe just a specific set-apart moment. And the really crucial bit, I think, is that in Genesis 1, like you said, the sun and moon, they don't show up until the fourth day. That strongly suggests yom there isn't tied to a clock or an orbit, but rather to a kind of divine rhythm, a sequence of creation unfolding.
Wow. Okay. So it's less about a stopwatch and more about a tempo, a beat within creation itself.
That's a great way to put it. A cadence, time woven into creation, not just measured after it.
So if yom is about this divine rhythm, this sequence, what does that tell us about the events themselves in Genesis?
It tells us that beginnings, these creative acts, are defined by their significance, not just their duration in seconds or minutes. The days aren't just empty slots, they're characterized by the profound actions happening within them. And this actually leads very nicely into the Greek ways of seeing time. They had two key concepts, chronos and kairos.
Chronos and kairos. I've heard of these.
Right. So chronos is probably what you think of first. It's measurable time, linear, minutes, hours, seasons, calendars, clock on the wall, steady, predictable.
The time we're always running out of.
Exactly. But then you have kairos, and kairos is different. It's the appointed time, the opportune moment. It's time filled with meaning when something significant happens. Think about the birth of a child maybe, or a major turning point in life, or even just in a story you're reading, that specific charged moment.
Okay, that makes sense. One is quantity, the other is quality, significance.
Precisely. And what's really fascinating is thinking about Genesis not just as a strict schedule chronos, but as this beautiful interplay, the symphony of both. Chronos gives it a structure, an order, yes, but kairos reveals the intention, the divine purpose clicking into place with each day. So each Genesis day becomes less about counting hours and much more about witnessing purpose unfold. It's a moment made significant by God's action.
That's a really powerful way to look at it. But let's be real. In our world, it feels like chronos just dominates everything. Yeah. Schedules, deadlines. How do we even begin to, balance that? The constant demands of clock time with seeking out or recognizing these kairos moments. I mean, think about it for yourself. Which one feels like it's running your life right now? Okay. Chronos or kairos? Can you even recall a kairos moment recently, one where maybe, God's timing kind of broke into your normal routine?
It's a real tension. Absolutely. We all feel it. But understanding this distinction, this richer view of time from these ancient sources, it's a reminder, isn't it? It reminds us that time isn't just something to be spent or managed. It's more like a canvas. A space for divine action meant to be lived in with purpose. So our calling isn't just to count the minutes, but to make the minutes count, maybe, to look for and respond to those kairos opportunities that pop up within our everyday chronos.
Yeah, turning the routine into something more. This isn't just ancient philosophy then, is it? It sounds incredibly relevant for how we live right now. It feels like a call to live differently, not just by the clocks, but by listening for that deeper rhythm, that sense of calling or purpose.
Exactly right. When we start to value both chronos and kairos, we see time differently. Every moment holds potential. It's not just about getting through time, but about being present in it. It's about discerning, what matters in this moment and acting on that rather than just letting the hours tick by.
Okay, so here's something for you to think about as we wrap up. If time is really this rhythm, this gift, maybe even a calling, how might your week look different? What if you treated each day, or even just moments within the day, less like hours to manage and more like divine appointments? Maybe reflect on one practical way, just one thing this week where you could try shifting your focus, moving a little away from just managing chronos, and towards living with purpose, listening for that kairos rhythm in your daily life. What might that look like for you?